Push it. Push it real good. That only because just as I was going to push the live button, I said, I'm going to push the button. And Jason went, push it real good. And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Bit of salt and
pepper's
pepper.
here.
Yeah, bit of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is here.
Right.
Hello, salt and
Oh,
pepper.
anyway, no.
So
it's not that kind of stream.
It's not that yet. For you, baby, it could. And which one of our audience am I talking to when I say that? I'd like to think it's probably for Billy Versozi. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but good morning, Billy. Good morning, Pete, TC Wallets, Ben Marshall. Ben! Interglobal is in the house. And so am I. My name's Ian Taylor. This is the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. With us today is Jason.
Hello.
Is Josh.
What it is.
And Keith is getting coffee. And Wesley is doing his hair.
Be right.
So they'll be they'll probably be either side of you, Josh. You'll be
I can feel the
you'll be a meat in a Keith and Wesley sandwich.
Fine.
Let's just let that one hang for a moment. Okay. I won't lie to you. I'm my energy. I'm amazed I've managed this amount of energy for the first 2 minutes of the show because I'm absolutely like dead on my feet. I'm like a drunken boxer, stumbling around the ring. It's just I went for a run this morning and I slightly over reached in terms of the distance. Indeed, had to walk the last kilometre. And it's completely wiped me because it's suddenly getting warm here. So I'm like, Okay. Anyway, people have tuned in for this shit, so I'm sure. I wasn't out crazy late last night, Pete. As it happens, I don't get to do that anymore. My life's not exciting. But Josh joins us live from a trailer park, and Jason's been watching more golf than you can picture. Mike McKell in the house. So yeah, right.
The golf has been good. Wore my Sunday Tiger.
I've never really listen. I get that people really like it. I've really never seen the point.
The Masters is that one where even if you don't follow golf at any point in time, if you're ever going to watch a golf tournament, just to kind of get what is it all about? What's all the hype about? Why do people go so crazy about this stuff? Just watch a little bit of the Masters. Give yourself 9 holes of the Masters. Pick a guy that shoots, okay, and it's unbelievable to watch.
It's a long time since I had to go at 9 holes. Right. So let's move on.
I go for 3.
We are gonna say. So, do you like jam, baby? Because that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to rather belatedly have a go at looking at all of the sets that came out in 2024. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying we mean come out in 2024, not something that got a physical release in 2023 and then came out on EPAC in 2024. We're talking about breaking ground, first revealed to the public, be it by physical first, or if it was an EPAC only by EPAC, in 2024. So, yeah. And Pete, you're right. It is 2 shows worth of cards. But fortunately, Keith Speroni is here to help us out.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
And Keith, Billy's already telling us that you're a beautiful disaster today.
He's not quite. He's possibly right.
Is T calling the kettle black there? But
I appreciate him putting beautiful before disaster.
Yeah.
Of course, we would have it no other way.
That makes it fair.
I would say someone asked just now if been going out, and I said, to be honest with you, no. But Keith, sounds like you're doing my going out for me as well as your own going out. So thank you for doing that. I live vicariously through your exploits.
I got you covered, brother.
Thank you very much, because it's been such a long time since I actually went out. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm middle-aged parent. What can you do? Right. So we're going to talk about 2024 card releases, and this we kind of forgot to do it really, because it was kind of like we were going to do it, and we've this podcast has always done a review of the year show, but we've always been able to do it kind of either end of December or at the very least first few weeks of January. But given that literally some sets didn't drop until like the 28th, 29th of December physically, because Upper Deck were just like kicking them off the bus as they drove down the highway. We kind of figured, okay, we'll give it a little while for things to kind of breathe and for the ripples to expand across the pond. Well, I think the pond is completely ripple free at the moment, so it seemed appropriate to revisit now that Upper Deck have officially stopped selling Marvel officially as of the 31st of March. So it's over, baby, and we are in. Excuse me, sorry. We are in what I would refer to as the hinterlands between Upper Deck and Topps, because Topps have done a little bit, but I've still no sense of how much we're going to get, when we're going to get it.
Feels like purgatory.
Yeah,
weird limbo.
And I'm not. Listen, I'm not seeking the information out, so it could well be out there. So don't take my word as gospel on this, but I don't perceive there to be a release schedule as such. Has anyone seen kind of a calendar of like, oh, this set's dropping in October, we got this in the summer, anything like that?
No, do we even know what's next?
They're not putting anything out there.
I mean,
nobody's talking about it. If they are, if they're releasing anything as far as schedule, that seeing nothing out there.
Yeah, they're doing some of that Topps now, sort of very small and individual card print on demand kind of thing. As in, they just print however many are ordered. At least that's what I perceive Topps now to be.
There'll be something for Thunderbolts, I'm sure. They'll release like a card.
Yeah. So they've done Falcon and not Falcon and Winter Soldier, but Captain America. Mm-hmm. They've done Daredevil, Born Again, which I still need to start watching. Apparently, I'm hearing it's absolutely amazing.
It is.
So so Thunderbolts. Yeah, they'll do Thunderbolts and a Fantastic Four. Oh my goodness, I'm really looking forward to Fantastic Four. How good does it look?
I got a lot of faith in Thunderbolts too.
Yeah, Thunderbolts.
Me too.
Fun, it's, that movie wouldn't exist were it not for most of the Disney Plus content over the last 5 years. Because outside of the Black Widow movie, I think most of the characters have come from either Falcon and Winter Soldier, or actually no, there's one from Ant-Man 3.
No.
So, but think about it. I mean, you've got Falcon and Winter Soldier. You've got US Agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yelena Belova. Well, she's Black Widow, but she was also Hawkeye. So, in fact, was she in Hawkeye first?
She was at Black Widow came out.
She was in the Widow solo first. Yeah,
that's right. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. And you've got Valentina, Madam. Is it Madam Hydra, that character?
We don't know yet.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
Right.
We'll see what the movie does. She is a Madam Hydra, or was a Madam Hydra. There's been a couple.
There's been a couple. Bloody hell. I'm really looking forward to that. But at the moment, my kid's all about wanting to take me to the movies, the movie theater, as you guys call it, to see the Minecraft movie. She's absolutely jonesing to see it. She's absolutely jonesing. Minecraft crazy in this house. Anyway, so Jason has done the Lord's work, quite frankly. And I'm not talking about getting up this morning after too many beers last night, although that is
that was a struggle.
Tip of the hat to you. Well done. Your sacrifice is duly noted.
I was going to say that also happened.
Yeah. Thank you for your service. He's done a spreadsheet. He's done a spreadsheet of all the sets that came out. I've just spotted you've missed one, actually. No, you haven't. You haven't missed one. Sorry, I didn't see it.
That's right. Amazing, because that spreadsheet was powered by IPA.
Oh dear. What? Bill? How come he's on his Bill? Bill Versozi. Has he suddenly gone all formal and reformed and respectable? He'll always be Billy to me.
Yeah.
He'll always be Billy to me. Minecraft nugget sauce from McDonald's. Okay.
I can
get
attest to what he's
Minecraft
saying.
Doritos. Yeah, we just get Minecraft Doritos over here. I mean, they're nothing different about them. They're just branded Minecraft, and so my kid is suddenly wanting to buy loads of Doritos, which I'm okay with. I can't lie to you. So let me, excuse me, let me entertain you. No, let me open the screen with that spreadsheet on, because I think it would be good, baby, to look at it. But I can't, for the life of me, find it in my options of what screen to share. Oh, what's going on? There it is. Lovely, marvelous. I'm not going to leave it on the screen, but that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot there. So we're gonna kind of work through them a little bit, but we're not going to spend a massive amount of time on them because as Pete said, that would be like two episodes worth of content.
Right.
And quite frankly,
this had to be the craziest year of releases we've ever seen, right?
Yeah. Quite frankly, crazy year, but I don't want to spend 4 hours on it. So, and nor does anyone else. So let's just. I mean, obviously, there's a interesting. There's a tops one in here. Two tops ones in here. So I can't really speak to those necessarily. But look at this. Jason has even broken down between genre, like MCU and comic. This is outstanding behavior.
Yeah, and then I did it in two, and then I put those in two separate sheets in case we just want to kind of focus on one genre.
You did? I've just spotted. Wow. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to leave it on screen. I'm just going to kind of use it as like the guide ropes, if you like. And we'll go through it. And basically, because someone suggested, who was it who suggested? Someone suggested that we kind of literally go, zoom in, please. Oh, someone said to zoom in. Sorry, Marvelous Pact. That means I've got to share again. You know what? I'm going to talk it out. You know what, Jason? As you've shared that sheet with everyone, I'm going to put the link in comments so that people can bring it up on their own device. And there, Billy, is this form more pleasing to you? He's going to be like this the whole episode, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Took that turn right away.
Yeah. So, Billy, we love you and we're here for it. Thank you. So listen, we'll just go through it, and it's basically this is my jam. A thumbs up. This is not my jam. In fact, my jam's over there, and this is the set we're talking about, and never the twain shall meet. That's how much it's not my jam. And variations on that humorous theme, which is actually not that humorous, but I like to over-egg a tenuous joke, as you know. And then in the middle, it's like maybe peanut butter and jam. I don't know. What's the middle one called?
It's impartial.
There you go.
Yeah. Semi-jam?
Fluff.
Semi-jam? Can't get the lid off the jar jam?
Can I make a quick point about the spreadsheet? Because I know people now that the link is out may have some comments. I focus, as you said, it debuted in 2024.
It's got to be.
But also, I went through a couple different sources to try to get as complete a list as I could, as pretty much upper deck, with the exception of the two tops. I didn't go chasing around like Finding Unicorn or Panini or any of those sets. I'm sure some of those came out, but this is mostly going to be upper deck and a little bit of tops.
Yeah. Fair enough. And you know what? That's absolutely cool. What I would say is, feel free to point out if there's any idiosyncrasies with it, but it's not a mark your homework, you got it wrong, throw rocks at you kind of thing.
Right.
We had a go, and we're just going to talk about it. So let's go through them. So first off, it's an MCU one, Moon Knight. Now, I love the show, and I have to say I did have quite a lot of fun chasing some of the autos in this set, and they're gorgeous. Anyone else give it a go? Anyone else have a dabble? It's not really bottom row. It's not really
pretty much anything that's live action. I usually am not in on.
So it's kind of just me and Jason talking about this one then.
Yeah.
So
I bought some packs on ePack, but it just didn't. It was kind of meh for me. Or fluff. But I did a week ago was going on ComC and they had the F. Murray Abraham auto for a nice price, so I snatched that up. So you know, and it's what I forget what they call it, but it's one of the autos that I think it's kind of a die cut type auto.
Yes, I can't remember what it's called anyway. Listen, it's solid QA on the set. You know, I opened a physical box of it. The cards are beautiful. It's nicely put together. It's got some really nice metal inserts.
I love that insert that you pointed out. I mean, that's the coolest part about it.
Yeah. And the autos are absolutely. I mean, they got everyone. I mean, it's only 6 kind of major characters in the show. And Oscar Isaac plays 2 of them, 3 if you count the last 5 minutes. But but yeah, I mean, they got all the major actor autos. They got some really good like dual, quad, triple, and quad autos. And plus, they had those absolutely banging ePack achievements with the mini statue of Khonshu in them.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest parallels.
So for that reason alone, for me, it's a thumbs up because you know I like the autos. And I think I'm just 3 cards away from completing the SP metal cards, the Balance of Scales ones, and I'm done.
I mean, I'm with Keith as far as I don't go too far into those, you know, live action ones, but that Moon Knight the card construction was nice. They looked good. They were, you know, they were pretty sharp, and some of those parallels were beautiful.
Yeah, some of them are beautiful, but it was stretched thin though. I mean, it's kind of one of those. The number of parallels they have kind of doesn't quite work so much with some of the Disney Plus sets because it's like, what's the line from Lord of the Rings? Like butter scraped over too much bread or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. The show was fantastic, and
the show was amazing. Yeah.
And some of the cards came out really nice, and so that's, you know, I think even though it's not my cup of tea, I'd give them a thumbs up for that. I thought it was well done.
Yeah. Okay, so generally speaking, let's just do on the screen that, or that. So for me, it's a that. There we go. So we got kind of 2.5.
I'm tracking, by the way. I created a spreadsheet on the side.
Okay.
Brilliant. If we do it thumbs down, does that take off from the score? So if it's a 1, we should have figured this out. We really should have figured this out.
I did one. I'm tracking with a 1, a 0, and a -1.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so you're going to keep score. Okay. What about so 1 is that, 0 is that, and nah. Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to see if we come to some kind of consensus at the end.
All right, fair enough. All right, Jake, Retroverse is away. Yes, there have been more sets than I have brain cells left. So yeah,
since we've been doing this, never seen a release year like this, and obviously the storm was brewing. But no,
we won't see it again. Right, we're going to move on. Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns. Now we've talked about this before, quite at length, I have to say. And I think there's some lovely elements to it, but I feel like it's one of those sets that people have gotten more into as the year went on, partly because it was one of the last ones left on ePack as well. But I don't know. Anyone got anything new to say about Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns?
No, I just remember that episode. I had a lot of beef with it.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Josh.
So I look into it's not the 1.0, it's the, iPhone came out, now everyone has one. And so it's the 2.0, 3.0, and you've got to delve into stuff that's different and have some of these different types of sets with a different style of artwork, the card construction, even the border trim and everything I'm used to being clean and tidy. They went a little wild with it. They did some different stuff, and the execution wasn't perfect. And a few of the character selections were often
Falcon
way
Scarlet
out of there.
Spider.
Right.
And there's no reason why those artworks should have been in that.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue.
The 2.0 and the 3.0, if that had been allowed to happen, I could see it being better and better. I could see them refining it, and it would be one of those unique kinds of sets where at least it's not we're being hit with the same old thing, the same old style.
Would there have been enough juice in the orange for them to go for a 2.0 and a 3.0 though?
Possibly a second.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it was one that I really didn't get into or like buy much of until right before EPAC went away, or when Marvel went off EPAC, and started kind of getting into it because I do like Fleer Ultra. I think as far as kind of the original art sets, Fleer Ultra is probably my favorite. Because there's a lot of variety of artists, but I enjoyed it. Kind of like old school back in the day. You can read the back of the cards and find out about some of these characters. I put together a rainbow of Victoria Montesi. I didn't know who she was. Read about it, liked the art, and got a decent little rainbow put together of her base card. And some of the insert sets, some of like whatever Greatest Battles or the ones about the artifacts all looked pretty good. So
well avoided trying to pronounce that. Speaking of old school, Wesley has joined the chat.
Hey.
Now I know Wesley likes Midnight Suns.
Yes.
Yes, you jumped in at the right point, Wesley.
Is that what we're talking about?
We're on to Midnight Suns. We're on our second set, and we've been going for 20 minutes.
We're never going to get done.
We're going to speed up very quickly,
chance.
Wesley. So what we're doing? I don't know if you caught anything. Yeah, his hair's looking good. That, or that. Okay, and Keith is keeping score.
And I need your vote on Moon Knight. Where were you at?
Okay, so what's the three? This, or this?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Moon Knight. I guess I'm gonna have to go in there because I really didn't open up as much of it as I.
All right.
I mean, I did.
Definitely fair.
Midnight Suns. I'm here.
Does it work having a zero for this? Because surely you need to have something going into the pot for that.
Nope, it'll work. I think
it'll work because
a negative. You sure you don't want to do 2 for a thumbs up, 1 for this, and then a -2 for this? Do you see what I mean? Because otherwise you've got nothing going in there for this.
But just the lack of result of a data point shows where
exactly.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to score. Whatever. What I'll do is I'll do the replay and I'll actually put proper numbers to them and we'll see how differently it looks. Because I just don't think the zero is going to work as someone who's worked in data analytics. Anyway, Midnight Suns for me. I'm
be fair.
Bianchi artwork. It's got to be that. Overall set, I'm going there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going there, I'm afraid.
Can see that.
Yeah. Jason? Right, get your thumbs out, lads. All right, we've got a thumbs up from Jason.
Get your
Josh?
Oh,
Josh?
Yes.
Give us a digit. So, okay. And we've already got Keith sideways. Okay, good. And shout out for Andre Meister. Andre Meister.
Absolutely.
Because quite frankly, discovery of the year for me. In terms of artist, his style's not my cup of rosy lee necessarily, but I love that it's different. I love there's something different. Right, we are on to the first of 2 Fleer Throwbacks sets. So 1989, which came out on EPAC in February. Hey, there we go. You see, there we go, Keith. Keeps getting shade from the crowd, but he's right. He's right.
Why is he on a different account? Account?
I don't know. Who is behind the pencil anyway? Who is? Why has it come back? Who is behind the pencil?
It's freaking Billy.
Oh, is it? Right. Let's Fleer Ultra. No, Fleer Throwbacks. 89.
Love the idea of it.
And the artwork. I'm a thumbs up for me, I'm afraid.
Thumbs up. That's one of the artwork. That's one of the sets this year I did a lot with.
And the design of it. it's not too big a set, or you could go a bit deeper if you wanted to. I mean, you had John Byrne, She-Hulk in it. You know,
yeah,
Todd McFarlane art.
Todd McFarlane art.
Yeah,
you had that glorious period of X-Men art popping up in there, and Captain America actually, and the Hulk was a bit out there. Some of the artwork from that period, if I remember correctly. But yeah, and you know, I really enjoyed it. It's just a nice little set. In and out, done. You could go deeper if you wanted to.
Yeah, great set for character collectors.
Nice sketch card achievements.
For a set collector, you could. I mean, there was 30 cards, so you could go in and you could get your version of a.
Once you had the chase, it kind of doubles it, but still, it's not too bad. Then you had the achievement cards on ePack, which are good.
The achievement cards were pretty cool.
I was just nicely executed. The design of the sets they were riffing on for the year, plus that period of Marvel. I mean, that's the sweet spot. And without wanting to bury the lead a little bit, I think that's what sets it apart from its follow-up. But we'll come back to that. Right. Marvel Platinum. I mean, it's fairly safe to say that this one possibly changed the way Marvel cards.
Yeah.
I'm going to boldly say, I think this has changed the way Marvel card sets are constructed. And
he said a long time ago about
Harbinger for Topps,
about it being vibranium done right, and it was.
It might be the most universally accepted set of the year, in my opinion.
But the thing is, it's accessible on whatever level you want to play it at.
Yes,
that's what I like about it. I mean, it's if you're a character collector, it's like, you know, it's you do your sign of the cross before you go in, but you could put together a nice unnumbered different parallel set if you wanted to. You can just do a couple of little 9 pages.
They made the rainbow very achievable.
Here's the thing too, like some of these sets that we're going to discuss, if it weren't for the discounts, would anybody have touched them? You know, Platinum sold out on its own.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they did discount a little bit towards the end, not 50%. But it was heading that way. So, and people made money off it for the people who are into doing that, and that's their vibe. You know, people were able to rip it, break it, and you know, it fit into the model of, you know, how people break and rip stuff and make some money. So it pleased that crowd as well.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I'm hoping that by some miracle blasters show up again, because it's been 2 years now and we keep getting Fleer Ultra Avengers blasters. I'm hoping that same magic goes with Platinum. Because
I think they overprinted Fleer Ultra Avengers somewhat, but
yeah, I think so. But no, Platinum was. I loved it. You know, the blasters were just. I think they were $19.99. They were still a good price point. You got a serial numbered card in there. It wasn't like I think you could get a low one, but on average you got like the teal or like I got a red prism out of $199, but and then the blue surge,
it was
blaster only parallel is
fantastic,
awesome.
But in terms of that's the thing. In terms of the quality of them, you can't fault it. I mean, they're ridiculous names of some of the parallels, but they all looked. I mean, there were only a couple that didn't really work, and I think some of the really low numbered ones. I remember there was one that was misnamed. It was one thing, but the wording on the back said another thing. I can't remember which one it was now. Was it the of 10 or the of 5? It was one of the low ones. Anyway,
I think it was the checklist the checklist had a different character than what the actual card.
No. There was that across the whole print.
Okay.
Across there's one of the parallels is one thing, but it says something different. And you can tell it's completely different.
Color. I think that's in the creator art. Area.
I can't remember. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention because, quite frankly, there's been too much to pay attention to. I'm just going to throw a shout out for the amount of original art in that set. Palumbo's work was absolutely astonishing. Bill Sienkiewicz came back into producing art for Marvel cards. He signed as well. You had Mike Allred in there. You had the crazy guy who does the I can't remember his name off the top of my head, who was doing the kind of sculptures.
The sculpted cards.
Tom
Taggart. There we go.
Those are incredible.
And
something super different, and new.
Yeah, and some of the newer cats like Ben Brady on that set. I can't remember if Oliver Harbour was on that set because I know he was on Flair.
He was.
He was. And there was some really, really exciting talents on that set, and the original art just really works. I mean, Dave Palumbo's Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen, whatever she's called these days.
It's incredible.
It's an absolutely banging card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's up there. It's one of the top cards in the set for my money. Ron Lim, back doing original stuff. So there's so much. There's so much.
That might have been our introduction to Grego too,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, I think so. But there's so much good stuff that outweighs, the kind of some different reactions to the set. I mean, because it is a set that let's not look over the fact that it was a little bit divisive for people. Some people really didn't dig it, and some people to this day, think it.
We were all pretty worried when we were looking
cards,
at the checklist. It was mind blowing to look at.
I know we did an episode. We were like, I think the episode title had a little like mind blowing emoji in it.
There was concerns,
but then it came out and we opened it, and off to the races. So I think for me, it's a thumbs up just because of some of the original art we saw. In fact, a lot of the original art we saw, some of the amazing artists that we've seen blossom this year, and for Sienkiewicz and Ron Lim coming back into create.
The production was good too. Everything was very clean cut.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I don't know exactly what, but I just looked it up and it had a 62% gem rate for those people that do grade cards.
A lot of people graded and managed to do some good.
So we're all thumbs on that, right?
Yeah, I think we're all thumbs. We're all thumbs. On screen, all thumbs.
Yeah, I agree.
There we go. Everyone's got a thumb up.
Yeah.
Right, Ron Lim rocks. Ron Lim does indeed rock. In fact, it would be great if he was a metal drummer. Right, let's talk about Marvel Unbound 3 by Fred Ian, which started and it's just not long finished. It was one of the ones that was allowed to carry on as a new sale thing. It was.
This is a tough one for me.
Yeah,
it's a tough one for me. I mean, listen, I love Fred Ian's artwork. I really do. I think some of the characters this year were a bit.
If one never happened, it would be an automatic thumbs up, right? But because one happened, and I felt like 2 and then 3 kind of tickered down each time, and he never did a Laura, so I have an extreme anger towards him or Upper Deck. I don't know who yet, but I felt like it took a decline each on each release.
I mean, Black Cat fell within year 3, so for me, it's that. I'm gonna say that now.
I think just on the art and how it was executed, I like the rainbow parallels and all that stuff. I think it has to get a thumbs up overall. But it's tough if the other ones never happened. It's an automatic.
I mean, I kind of the way I think about it is that it's not too many cards more than a Masterpieces set in terms of original art.
Correct.
And if you think of it in that, because a lot of people were speculating that 2022 was going to be Fred Ian, me included, because I think he'd done enough to merit it.
Right.
I think that regardless of some views about the style and the poses and all that sort of stuff, I think it's, broadly speaking, brilliantly executed. I think my only slight foible would be the backgrounds on some of them were possibly less exciting, and I think there was an issue with some of the later pieces coming out that should have been achievements that were done without background, so they came out and they looked a bit plain. I don't think that's the artist's fault at all. But if you think about it, every Masterpieces artist has got deep cuts, and it's taken as part of the whole. So I think if you take all the 3 years as one set and think of it in those terms, it's a much more holistically, it feels like a more rounded experience.
I agree.
And everyone's going to have highs and lows. So I think taking year 3 on its own is possibly a little bit unfair, but that's the way we're doing it. So, but it still gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I can gripe about it all I want, but it's still going to get a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because we love Fred Ian.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, the next one's an MCU one. Next two are MCU ones. We're going to skip through these pretty quickly because they are Doctor. Oh, sorry, carry on.
I need a Wes and Jason vote. I got Josh. I got you.
All right. Okay. We got to do it on screen, haven't we?
Gotcha.
What's yours, Keith? Your thumbs up, yeah?
I'm thumbs up on it.
All right. Brilliant.
I just didn't really ever go into the Unbound. So.
Well, there's always time. And I'm stuck on like quarter free. I've got about 6 cards.
Yeah, I'm going to need to buy a set off somebody on that.
But yeah, I need like Machine Man, and that week it only shifted about 160 cards. So
I'm pretty sure I got that one.
Yeah, I need it unredeemed though to get the quarterly achievement. But yeah,
I got that back.
In that case, I'll hit you up afterwards. So next two, we're gonna dance lightly through these because they're MCU sets, and also they didn't hit EPAC, so it's difficult to make a judgment, even though we opened a box of each for the podcast. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. For me, great film. I think the set was very middling. And Thor: Love and Thunder, which I think was a very middling film and a bit of a middling set, because especially Thor: Love and Thunder, it was cookie cutter. They'd done it before. But the thing is with Thor: Love and Thunder is you got Natalie Portman signing for the first time. So for me, it gets a middle for that reason.
All right, so first we got to do Multiverse.
But Multiverse of Madness.
I'm down.
I actually, someone's been doing cases of that in group recently and posting his hit. And again, it's one of these ones where, Grant said that they shifted their focus on the movie and TV releases to focus on the autos, to make sure that they had all the big autos in there. So if you're an auto chaser, you're immediately, much like Moon Knight, you're immediately going to be giving it kind of more on the upward swing, certainly in middle or towards upwards. But as a set experience, Multiverse of Madness had some brilliant parallels, really leaning into that kind of going slightly into the Midnight Suns territory in terms of the design, like the Witchy Woman cards with Elizabeth Olsen were great. And don't forget, you had Hayley Atwell signing, Lashana Lynch signing. I think it's a real shame they didn't get Krasinski and Anson Mount, because their images aren't even in the set. Patrick Stewart's, so there's obviously image rights with it. So I think it could have been an absolute gangbuster if the image rights had been available to Upper Deck to do all those clever cameos, if you like. Chiwetel Ejiofor in there as Mordo again, but I don't think there was an image of him in the set. So it's one of those ones where I don't think it wasn't Upper Deck doing that. It was the actors' contract for the movie didn't allow certain things to be done with their images.
Yeah,
like Eternals with Angelina Jolie.
So I would have had to have had a Krasinski auto.
Can you imagine?
I think everyone would have went nuts for that card. Yeah,
Krasinski auto.
That would have been
Patrick
the
Stewart auto.
On that
Chiwetel Ejiofor auto. That whole kind of Illuminati. Was it Illuminati?
Yes,
correct. It was.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, you got about 8 different versions of Benedict Cumberbatch's autograph. I mean, he must have signed hundreds and hundreds, because there's loads. There's Dead Doctor Strange, there's Zombie Doctor Strange, there's Doctor Strange that got blown away by Black Bolt. In that, anyone not seen it? Sorry, not sorry. And Hayley Atwell as Captain Carter, live action. I mean, what's not to like? So
I think this sets was this the first one that Rachel McAdams signed for as well?
Yes. Oh yeah, Rachel McAdams signed for it. So, it's as a set, pretty middling, not as uninspiring as Thor: Love and Thunder, because they didn't even have Christian Bale's image rights for Thor: Love and Thunder. And again, when he's the main baddie and you've got a whole set without his image in there, it just feels a bit odd. So for me, they're middle because of the autos.
I'm giving Doctor Strange, the middle, just because I love some MCU Doctor Strange, and the more I see, I'll probably eventually pick some of it up. But right now, it's middle for me.
And Love and Thunder, I was looking at the base cards again. I've got them up there, and it's just like, it's not
bad.
Love and Thunder.
Bad.
I did not like that movie.
Ian, are you a down on that? I need a Love and Thunder.
I'm middle on both, but that's from the autos for the autos.
Gotcha.
If it hadn't had Natalie Portman in Love and Thunder, it would be a down for me.
How did I miss that Anson Mount was in? Was he Black Bolt in the Inhumans too?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I made two. I made it. I think I made it an episode and a half with the Inhumans, and I can see why it was cancelled. I mean, it's nicely cast, but it just didn't. It didn't feel. I don't know.
And I'll watch anything that Marvel puts out in any format. But man, that was a tough one.
And Anson Mount, I love him as an actor. I mean, he's great in Strange New Worlds. So.
Oh yeah, I last time I talked, I don't know if you'd started that yet, but
he's in Trek, right?
A boner for him.
Yeah, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Yeah. Right, so we got, bizarrely enough, there's 2 releases this year of Marvel Annual. We've got 22-23, which is the first one in the list, and then 23-24, which came out in October. So, I mean, they're fine. I mean, they're great. I mean, for what they are. I think they were quite well executed, especially the second one. Let's do both in the same time.
If you put them both in there, then
both in there, it's a thumbs up, and mainly for the second one, because the second one, they went out on an absolute bang with the last one.
There's a collectability behind all the annuals too.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna thumbs up annual. Well, there may be some in there, but this year or last year's, both of them were good.
Yeah.
For an entry level set, it's quality. It's a good, easy to absorb, not crazy expensive, pretty readily available, and it's done fairly well for probably the amount of resources that are put into it.
Yeah, and I think Upper Deck. I mean, looking at the DC annual that's just come out, I think Upper Deck they've absolutely nailed the execution of that set. They're doing some really good things with it.
They took the good stuff that they did with those last 2 annuals, because the one before the 22-23 was good, but the 23-24 was definitely kind of a shining star, and they took that and they just raised the bar with the DC.
They refined it and gotten better and better, and now DC is going to reap the benefits.
The last one, the 23-24, only came out in physical, which is a real shame because they had those wonderful dark web inserts. The holograms were brilliant. The creator autos were stunning, and they clearly didn't. I mean, they pushed it out. But they clearly hadn't finished the lineup of creator autos because there are gaps in the numbering on the spreadsheet. So there were clearly some autos that they either didn't get back in time or couldn't secure for whatever reason. So, but hats off to them for getting it out. But because it's a physical only release, it never got to EPAC. It's going to be a tough one for people to get some of those cards as we're going down the line. And I don't think it even had blasters.
It did.
Did it? What, the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I
you got the blue exclusives, haven't you?
Yeah, the blue. And they're using now for that one and a blue foil that, if you get in the light, has a little bit of a turquoise tint.
And the green. The greens are amazing.
The greens are amazing.
And the suspended animation are really good. I mean, the thing is, you look at some of the foiling on Marvel Annual, and it's kind of, aside from the overall chrome element of the card and the card being more plastic than anything else, it's on a par with the foiling in Platinum, and it's the same kind of technique, basically. Some of that foiling, it's really good. But the holograms are chef's kisses.
They're very nicely done.
So I'm thumbs up on Annual. I mean, it's fun. It's an affordable, responsible rip. There's some good stuff in there. The parallels are great. It's very collectible without feeling like you're going too crazy with it. And I'm actually quite relieved that the last one didn't see EPAC, because that tends to water it down a bit for me.
That's true.
So it's nice. We're gonna skip through the next 2 as well.
I'm just
She-Hulk.
bombing them. I'm just bombing them both.
She-Hulk and Black Panda Wakanda Forever. Black Panda Wakanda Forever was
Black Panda or Black?
You know what? I don't really care. I would say that Black Panther Wakanda Forever was possibly one of the worst sets I've seen from Upper Deck on the movie side of things.
Really bad.
All of them Thunder was bad, but it was just, and I'm probably a bit biased because fucking Namor.
I'm giving you a -2 on that.
But yeah, but I'm gonna put in a vote for She-Hulk, and the reason I'm putting in a vote for She-Hulk, and people won't get this unless they've seen them, but there is an insert in She-Hulk called Superhuman Law Division that is the bastard love child of a canvas card and a gold kind of border hologram card. And it's just phenomenal. It's just really nice. And speak to Amanda about this because she's smitten with them as well. And there are autos on those. And there is a Daredevil Charlie Cox one inscribed, numbered to 25 on that stock, and it's beautiful. But they're called Superhuman Law Division, and they're kind of a beige. It's weird. It's kind of a canvas feel, but it's got gold bordering and gold framing around it, and it's so well executed, really well executed. And it's a fun show. So in terms of a set that went with the flow of the show and how bonkers that show was and breaking the fourth wall. In fact, there's an insert set in She-Hulk called Breaking the Fourth Wall. And they just have fun with it. So I can't fault Upper Deck for actually producing a set that was so on point with the tone of the show on that one. And there's a couple of inserts in there. Like I said, the Superhuman Law Division and the Going Viral are just chef's kiss. They really are. But if you didn't like the show, you're not going to like the set. The only thing you might find comfort in is the fact that there are Charlie Cox autos in it. But because it went to physical only, much like Wakanda, much like Thor: Love and Thunder, the autos for that set are an absolute bear to find.
You know what would have done awesome if it weren't for timing? A Deadpool Wolverine set.
Deadpool Wolverine set. I would have given my brother's left nut. I'm not going to give my left nut, but I would have given my brother's left nut for a Daredevil Wolverine set from Upper Deck because I think they'd have nailed the autos.
Yeah.
Oh, it had to. Otherwise, you can't do it.
Yeah, but I think they'd have absolutely nailed it. I think we'd have got Chris Evans as Human Torch, which has never been done. I really think we would have got a Wesley Snipes auto. Can you imagine a Wesley Snipes? Jennifer Garner as Elektra auto.
Yeah, that would have absolutely
that set would have gone fucking nuts.
Oh yeah,
and they would have printed it up the Swahili, and it would have gone crazy on EPAC because they would have saved all the really big juicy stuff for the achievements. So that would have been an absolute payday.
They probably would have just put in the boxes just Peter autos. His buddy.
Yeah.
Rob Delaney. I'd be
he's
quite
great.
Happy
He's great. He's great.
To have that. I want Blind Owl. I want her auto.
Mm-hmm.
I also want a card that's kind of got a little acetate window in with white powder in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they can't call it what it is, so they'll have all the different names of all it could be. Good morning, Blake Marino. Welcome. So anyway, so cards sets that we could have had. So Wakanda for me is a down. No disrespect to Ryan Coogler, I didn't like the film either. I watched an interview with him the other day, and he's a really interesting cat.
I'm looking forward to his new one.
Yes, Sinners.
Yes, next week.
That looks really good. Yeah, the trailer for that does look mad. And then She-Hulk. I'm gonna have to do this, but on the strength of one of the inserts, which is an absolute banging insert. So yeah. You miserable fuckers. Right, let's move on. We have Fleer Ultra Wolverine.
This is tough. A little bit tougher.
I was just so Fleer Ultra'd out by that point. I was like,
I think so. I'm sorry. I don't think it was well executed at all.
No,
I agree.
I think it was a bit rushed, actually.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
But
I can't.
you got some good medallions and some good parallels.
Yeah.
For a set that I thought was going to ruin me, I spent $0 on it. And I thought there'd be sketches that would ruin me. I thought like, from top to bottom, I thought that I was going to be in trouble with that set. They even put a Laura insert set in there, and I care nothing for it.
Insert set, yeah.
I
remember saying to you, "I'll hold these for you," and you were like,
"Yeah."
So,
I've got the complete set, and looking at it in a whole, some of them were well done. The Deadpool was nice. The Avengers Deadpool with the gray and black outfit. A couple, the Magneto, the white costume Magneto was pretty cool. There's a few in there that were, but
even as you're talking about it, you're fighting for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're fighting for it to even have any kind of notoriety.
You kind of
there was a good card here. Yeah. You have to try to make it something.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really. I bought some stuff on ePack, but nothing jumped out at me. I think I'm holding on to a couple of the Wolverine cards because my nephew likes Wolverine. But nothing jumped out at me. I think eventually I'll try to get like a gold or colored Beast medallion because I like the Beast image used on the medallion. But it's probably
the artwork on most of the medallions was better than the base.
Yeah, and no disrespect to the artist, and this is why I feel bad when we might be. I think we're about to rip this set a new one, but it's like the thumb going somewhere with a claw on it. I think is what's about to happen. But I just think that it's a real shame that the execution was so bad because there's no disrespect to the artists on it, but yeah, I just. Someone said they liked the pop culture cards. I don't know. They felt a little bit forced to me. I don't know.
I normally like that kind of art, but I think with this one, just nothing jumped out at me with it. And I never saw blasters. There were blasters, but they never showed up near me. So that's probably one reason why I didn't really get into the set.
Okay, well let's vote. It's a down for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
and I never thought I'd do that for a Fleer Ultra set, but it's a low point for me on the Fleer Ultra spectrum.
On the medallions alone,
there was absolutely nothing in this set that I wanted, and even Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns I really wanted to like because whether there's truth in this or not, it was about 3 years ago. There was an episode where Fausto and I had like brain spat like Fleer Ultra sets. Oh, wouldn't it be good to see a Fleer Ultra this, a Fleer Ultra that? And we suggested one about Fleer Ultra kind of Midnight Suns. Funnily enough,
it's crazy that Midnight Suns is destroying.
And the thing, and someone from Upper Deck basically said that it was on their shortlist already. And they went with it.
It doesn't feel too good, huh?
Whether there's truth in that or not, I don't know. But but
doesn't feel too good, huh, Ian?
No, I don't know. Anyway, but Wolverine's a down for me, I'm afraid. So sorry, Wolverine. Right, Marvel Beginnings Volume 2, Series 2 didn't hit EPAC. I don't know really if you've had enough experience with it to know. I mean, yeah.
Meh.
The holograms are stunning. They are proper top-notch holograms. There's a glitz and glam insert set that had Black Cat in it that's actually really nice, and would have fit quite nicely into Fleer Ultra Marvel Matriarchs actually. I think the comic cuts are okay, but yeah.
So I know I'm probably in the minority on this one. I like sets with comic art. I like entry-level sets. I like base sets because that's how I got into comics. And so I like Beginnings. I like the design, base design, the clean white border and the little kind of silver around it. I think it looks great. This set, I didn't rainbow any cards like I did with the previous one, but I am chasing the Micro Motions. I love that. It's like a 100-card set, but the Micro
Motions are lovely.
Looks really good.
They're really nice. Yeah.
And then the last reason I'm giving Beginnings Volume 2, Series 2 a thumbs up.
2.2, yeah. Mm-hmm.
2.2, a thumbs up from me, is because I bought tons and tons of blasters of the first one and still had to chase down single cards for a base set. This one, I bought maybe 4 blasters and came up with almost a full base set except for one card that Ian sent me. And so the Coalition and the blasters for this one was much better. So thumbs up.
Chat's getting wild.
I just read,
yeah. Let's not go there. Anyway, for me, it's a middle. Because the holograms and the Micro Motions were astonishing, but I'm not sure the world needed a volume 2 of Marvel Beginnings at all. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Josh is possibly sitting this one out.
Oh no! So sorry.
Oh,
there we go. I thought you were vetoing that one.
The purple of 10 actually showed up in the blasters this time.
Okay. All right.
And the red Supernova is a really good parallel.
Yeah. Good.
So.
Right, 2024 Marvel Flair. I can't believe this only came out in July. It feels like older than that, but July it's got on your spreadsheet here. I mean, it's Flair. There's some great artwork in it. As always with Flair, it's always a bit bonkers in terms of its design.
The tiering makes it annoying. But overall, I think it was a good set.
But Simone's Tier 6 was so much more accessible.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the pin Flair cards, even though they're a bastard to store and they're quite heavy. But the Shadow Box achievements that came from those, that are e-pack, look amazing. I haven't got mine in hand yet, but I had Black Cat on it, so I had to go for that one. I really liked it, actually. I thought it's one of the strongest original art sets of the year for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
And, again, we had some of our buddies on there. Oliver Harbour, his Wasp. We had Todd Noak's Black Cat, which was great. It wasn't a massive base set, if I remember correctly.
No.
Canvas auto cards were really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I'm going to thumbs up for Flair 24.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was really well executed.
Yeah. I didn't do a whole lot, but I got a few. I got a couple Nick Fury cards, and then the canonical blasts are foily nice. And then like the silver you combine for e-pack looks good.
The silver and gold, wasn't it? You had silver.
Yeah, I don't have a gold, but the silver looks good.
Yeah,
silver looks good.
I haven't got them in hand yet, so I'm looking forward to those. So I think Flair was just nicely put together. Made sense on e-pack. Wasn't too much of a ball buster to go after the achievements. So yeah, liked it. One thing I didn't go into with Flair, and I know a lot of people did on e-pack, were the Solar Flare Sunspot cards, which apparently are gorgeous. Are they nice?
Yes, they're amazing. And a couple of the SSPs like Galactus and some of them are beautiful. Really nice.
And don't forget the Iridescence, which I didn't see in hand, but they look like they could be absolute sleepers. I think in years to come, people are going to be chasing those. Based on what I've seen, anyway, I think they were.
What were those stone cards called? Those stone mosaic style cards?
Oh, carved. I think they were called. Yeah.
Again, one of those where I say this all the time.
Yes.
When I look at it right now, I'm not sold on it. I don't look at it and go, I have to have my character in that card. But if it's refined a little bit more and more, I think you could throw a card on a stone type medium and make something.
Well, I don't think it was actual stone. I think it looked like
it wasn't. They were mimicking it, but
again, it was nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if they actually used those. Some of these designs come back. They'll do a DC if they got their sense about them. They'll do a DC Flair. Can you imagine how fucking good a DC Flair set would be?
Absolutely.
They could go deep cut. There'll be some characters even I collect pop
it's
up.
It's going to turn my stomach when they start using more and more of the names that I'm used to associating with Marvel.
Yeah, I know, but it's the world we're in, I guess. But yeah. Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy's here.
Izzy and the Hizzy.
Izzy, can I just I just wanted to just send some love to Izzy. I'm crap at doing these, but I'm just going to send some love to Izzy because Izzy's had a really shit time of late with family stuff. And
that's more of a pumpkin than a heart, from what I can see.
I know. I'm terrible at them. So can we just rewind? Edit that. We'll edit that out in post. Anyway, Izzy, I love that you're here. Thank you, and wishing you all the best, my friend, with all the shit you've been going through. Marvel Masterpieces XL. I love the experience of it.
I'm going to get heat for this one.
It's tough. Like, given what it was built to just drain us, right? It was just a money grab.
Well,
it was
that, really. It wasn't that
cool.
expensive.
No, it was cool to just see the cards in larger format. It reminded me of the old, was it Flair, when you got those big.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The promo, the big promo stuff, like that was like that was the cool part about it, seeing the art in a larger format. Other than that, it is.
Oh well, I've got to say, I mean, having opened 2 hobby boxes of it, it was just an astonishing experience. The quality was up there. The battle spectra in large format are just gobsmackingly beautiful. And again, it just gave me an appreciation of the set, a reappreciation of the set. But also, from my point of view, it's a really affordable way to get those tier 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So
because they're not tier 4.
They're not limited to just 99. I mean, they're not even numbered the base.
Right.
Fucking bring it on.
You can even catch a parallel for a decent price in one of them too.
Yeah. So that's going to enable me to finish my Masterpieces 2016 set.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean? So because I was never going to be able to finish the tier 4. I got 2 of them in purple, but there's no way I'm going to spend £500 on a Deadpool purple from 2016.
Yeah.
Even if I could get it for £500. I mean, I think it's more than that now. But it's
that's my tier 4
no way I'm
for
going to do it.
2016. Now I sold that sketch set I had for the sketch What If set. Somebody had to have it, and I enjoyed it for a while, but now I was able to just fill those back up, no problem. And What If versions too, which imagine trying to get the What If versions of T4 2016.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, my first thought, just when you go to Target and you find those boxes sitting there, they do look expensive, but I guess if you compare those to regular for the 2016 set, what you would have paid for it anyway. That makes more sense when you.
I did like that it was accessible.
Like that.
It was I stumbled across it often at Target.
Yeah, well, they're still at Target,
but I saw it.
They're still at Target and Barnes and Noble. So if y'all want any, just let me know. Because they're still there.
When I see the comment, I get it, but I always find this really fascinating, the price perception thing. So when people look at something that's got 6 cards in Target, and then they look at the amount of money they'd need to spend on EPAC to get 6 physical cards, you compare that, and then actually it's like, who's the crazy one for dropping that dollar? So I always find that quite fascinating. I mean, thumbs up for me. I loved it. I thought I didn't expect to, but I loved the execution of it. And I know, and we know that from our final interview with Jason.
Did we convince Jason back?
I think we might have done.
Might have done.
Yeah. Shouldn't have said anything there. But
no, it's not for me. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to be hard. I don't want to be like Mr. Hater. It wasn't that set wasn't for me.
That's quite all right. Quite all right. I feel the same about Sodomy.
But right. I mean, is it this or this?
But we know that 2018 was
what the fuck?
Right. But I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You were so behaved for the first hour. Did you bottle it all up and save it for that comment?
Yeah, I was bottling it up. Yeah, the damn broke. but the you thought I was holding it back. I dropped some corkers, just no one heard it. But
we're gonna get censored.
We are going to get
Jesus.
censored. But 2018, if 2018 had come out as planned in Excel format, I think it would have been clean up on Eileen that day. I tell you.
Yeah, that would have been
right. And not to beat a dead horse, but imagine the 2.0 on Excel with 18 with Bianchi's artwork having sharpened up. That was the first time they were making larger cards like that. Give them another chance to get a little bit better at it. I think it would have been
the Bianchi art, correcting the grading issues on the coloring would have been banging.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Marvel Universe Avengers.
The metal?
The metal?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Metal Universe Avengers. Sorry, I've read it as Marvel Universe because I'm.
For me, Metal Universe Avengers was easy because the boxes, the two, I opened 3, and they were some of the best 3 boxes of the year that I've ripped. Absolutely loaded. PMGs,
they were covered in hits.
Loaded.
They did. It was probably the best metal set they put out since X-Men, because we know all the flaws they had in that. And Spider-Man was the disaster it was. So
that hurt me so bad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Metal.
Yeah, I didn't really get into the previous 2 metal, but because of the blasters showing up for Avengers and then getting into the character breaks, and I had a lot of fun with the Metal Avengers. A lot of fun with it.
I'm kind of uneasy with this one. There's quite a lot of characters pop. I mean, they do this with a lot of sets. Hello, Falcon. And
the White Diamond PMGs,
but the White Diamond PMGs. I mean, listen, let's put it to the vote straight away. I'm a down. I had zero interest in that set. There was nothing in it for me. And I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm over metal sets. That's what it is.
That makes sense.
That was the one metal set that
all future metal sets.
The other 2, definitely, I'm with you. But I think they finally got it right on that one.
Well, I'm sure there is. But the thing is, there's nothing, and I think, and therein lies the rub with my personal journey in Marvel cards over 2024. I think at that point I lost the love. I kind of at that point gotten to the point where.
That's fair. They had a couple shots.
I think Spider-Man hurt you. I think Spider-Man metal hurt you.
Spider-Man metal hurt
and you never came back.
But also because you get to a point where you're like, you know what? I think that's the set that might have jumped the shark for me personally in terms of comic art sets. I just couldn't. And that caused me to pause a little bit in terms of my journey as a collector, because I was like, that's not moving the needle at all. I've got my character's not in it, but aside from that, I have no personal interest in opening it. It's weird. It's a weird one. I just had no, and that was kind of a bit of a, okay, what have I become? I'm on a Marvel Cards podcast, and yet I'm not interested in anything that the metal set has come. What's going on? What's going on?
Am I feeling okay?
I don't know. So, and I'm still not sure how I feel about things at this point. But we'll move on. This isn't like me sitting on the sofa and you guys doing the whole therapy thing. Although it should be. Right. Although we've got the top Marvel Chrome. Sorry, Wesley. What? Huh?
Jimmy, just for me with that Avenger, like the first time I went to go get a box, a hobby box, it was $250, and it was so good. At that point, I felt like I wasn't going to be able to keep collecting it because it was so good and it was going to be so expensive to get. But I did love the set.
Yeah, $250, so good.
Right.
I was averaging like 3 PMGs a box. I was like, I felt like somebody was playing a joke on me.
Shot up to 500 real quick.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pretty small print run from what I understand. So didn't last long on EPAC. It was ridiculously expensive on EPAC as well. So I didn't even dabble. I didn't even think, I'll have a little go. I'm probably going to jump over Marvel Chrome and Marvel Chrome Sapphire because they didn't get a US release.
Right.
And I don't really think I've seen them around, but I think to have them in the same kind of league list as the other things we're doing isn't really necessarily a fair playing field.
Right.
But if I was going to vote, it'd be this. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
because it just didn't, So, yeah, but I have very little to base that on. I didn't buy any. I wasn't going to pay that.
Iron Man signatures by Iron Man.
Yeah, don't even start.
Thor. Like, come on.
It's the fact that Daredevils, if they're going to do that, make Daredevils one a Braille one. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Get creative at least.
Yeah. Wolverine's one will just be cuts in the thing because he can't hold a pen with those things.
Right.
Is everybody down on that? And let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We're going Right, Marvel Throwbacks 59 to 63. Now, much like the other Fleer Throwbacks one, I've got a soft spot for both because Upper Deck were very kind to give us the exclusive on the announcement and first look at them. So thank you, Upper Deck, for that, especially Joe Sorensen, and also Grant, obviously, for giving the green light on that. So,
and TJ.
And TJ, of course, TJ, apologies. How could I forget?
TJ.
Oh, TJ is like Wesley's twin.
Yes.
Seriously, separated at birth.
Yes.
But I'm going to have to be middling on the second one though, because I don't think this is like one of those things. It's like the Freddy in Unbound Year 3. If you judge it in isolation, it doesn't come up well. If you had a raft of Fleer throwback set and they'd been able to carry on, because they did tell us off the record the years they were planning to hit afterwards, and it would have felt better in that environment. But in isolation, I think it struggled. I won't lie to you. Some of the character representations and the design of those cards from that era, just not for me. I mean, it doesn't hit any of my nostalgia feels, which I think is why the first one sailed through. But I don't know. What do you think?
So
there's a respect level. I don't like older art.
I think that they get an A for effort because they had their parameters, and so they had to stick to those dates, and there wasn't a lot of Marvel heroes during those dates that they could use, to choose from. So you got people like the Mailman from Fantastic Four and that kind of stuff weird in there. Stuff. But I think of like the Spider-Man cards were great. The images for Spider-Man, a couple of the Fantastic, like the Thing looked, his cards looked pretty good. I did a gold set for the base, the high and low series, so I could get 2 of the Spider-Man achievement cards, just because. But I think because most of us probably weren't around during that time. We don't have as much nostalgia about it. I think we all respect where it came from in the origins, but it's not like that 89 set.
Yeah, it's a passion project, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think
for me,
that's a good call out, Jason.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you I think in another 10 or 15 years, it'll probably pick up a lot more. I mean, people will be looking for it a little bit more. I mean, if you look at that the Chamberlain rookie, insert type, I don't know. It's just it's a pretty cool setup.
Yeah. Some of the printing plates were a shocker. I don't know if you saw them. It did make me laugh. It absolutely made me laugh so much seeing some of the printing plates people were pulling, and they were so cod about it. They were like, "Oh, I got this. It's terrible." And it was just like a blank plate because it was a yellow plate or something like that, and it was the most hilarious thing. Anyway, firm middle for me, just because I like what they were trying to do with throwbacks.
I'm gonna give it an up.
Good. Right, moving on, because we need to keep going. We can't let any dust settle on this one. Right, I'm going to tackle these as one thing. MCU, Marvel Studios Series 1 and Marvel Studios Series 2 that came out as retail only. They were 2 autographs guaranteed per hobby box. There were blasters as well, and it was borrowing pretty much all of its design from the sports sets that Upper Deck do. So the Dazzlers, the holographics cards, the canvas, the high gloss, all of the stuff that Upper Deck do with their hockey. So it's basically the hockey set, all the different elements from the stuff Upper Deck do, but with MCU. The first one was the TV shows. The second one was the movies. I mean, you remember me pulling that Chris Pratt auto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that clip.
Yeah, it was a banging experience opening it. It really was. I mean, it was a fun set. I mean, whatever you think of the individual properties, there are so many other properties in there that it kind of, makes up the ones that might not be your favorite. And you had Brie Larson autos turn up. You had Samuel L. Jackson autos turn up. A lot of big names. Bradley Cooper. This was the first set that the first set to come out that he signed for. I think he actually signed for all of them at the same time, and then the stickers went on both of them. But he was in Guardians Volume 3 as well. I mean, listen, I'm definitely biased on this one because I'm pushing for as big a master set as I can on both of them, and I'm up to 3 very, very full binders already, and I'm barely scratching the surface. So I'm all in, baby. And also, it's the only place I can get autos on Quantum Mania stock for the Marvels. Do you see what I mean? Because they simply don't exist anywhere else. But if you wanted a Thor, Love and Thunder Natalie Portman, they're in this as well. Again, very small numbers of them, but they're out there. You can get them. And yeah, I mean, I love it. So I'm going to give a thumbs up on that one because I just think they're very well executed. If you're into your MCU stuff,
I'm gonna have to do this. I mean, I bought a bunch of blasters. Sent a bunch of stuff to Ian. I like the some of the foily inserts on it. I even pulled an auto out of a blaster. So
yeah. And you know what I like about this set, and I've seen this. Sorry, Wes, I'll come back to you in a sec. In a lot of the other groups on Facebook, the more kind of non-sports nonsense and people like that, is that people are buying them sight unseen, and they're just having a blast opening them with their kids. You've watched all the films, and some of them are pulling autos out of blasters because there are so many autos in that set. It's ridiculous. I mean, some of the hobby boxes. I opened 2 hobby boxes of Series 2, and one of the hobby boxes had 3 autos in.
Yeah.
Admittedly, one was fucking Namor, but
you willed that into existence. That was.
Oh, I think
that was you
because you did got your.
Yeah.
So yeah. So no, I think they're great. Some great cards in there. The Dazzlers, the green blaster exclusive Dazzlers.
Those are cool.
Particularly gorgeous.
Yeah, those are. Cool.
And the fluorescence. I was going to say the fluorescences were the ones that
look good. Yeah, the outbursts look good as well. So there's some good stuff in that set. So you can dabble in it as well. Yeah,
it's fun. It's kind of an annual level type deal.
Yeah. I mean, they were the last kind of broad MCU stuff for capturing most of Phase 4 and Phase 5, basically. Right, we have Marvel Allegiance Infinity War trilogy. And I'm going to do Secret Wars in the same breath, even though it came out later, because just for economy of time, really.
I think that's fair too.
I think these were so much better, both of them, than the Avengers X-Men set that came out last year.
Absolutely.
I had a blast opening both of them. They were packed. They were loaded in terms of the number of. I mean, you remember I got that out of 10 Storm from Infinity Trilogy. There were some great comic cuts and autos, especially in Secret Wars. They would have absolutely gone gangbusters on EPAC, these 2 sets. But I think a lot of people are just kind of exhausted at this point, so maybe didn't pick them up. But I think they're pretty cheap. I think you can get hobby boxes still pretty cheap. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
The whole Allegiance line just didn't do much for me, and I think the X-Men Avengers initially soured my taste, and I just never came back from it.
Yeah, they didn't. That was not a good set. In fact, I would say that's probably one of the worst. It's probably one of the worst sets I could put out for the Marvel license. If I'm being honest.
Worse than Kree Skrull War.
Kree Skrull War. Well, Kree Skrull War, I like. I can't judge them by the same yardstick because they came out at very different points. Kree Skrull War was Upper Deck trying new stuff at the infancy of their Marvel license days, and they were genuinely trying some new stuff just to see what would work and what didn't work, and they clearly learned lessons from them. I think this set, especially Avengers versus X-Men, I'm not sure where they thought the market was for it, if I'm honest. It doesn't give me something I'm not getting from other sets. I mean, the nostalgia feels, I get that, especially with Secret Wars and Infinity Trilogy. But I think Avengers vs. X-Men is too recent, and also no one gives a fuck. So, but they didn't choose very good interior artwork panels for the Avengers vs. X-Men. They clearly listened to the feedback and improved, with the next two.
God, that was so bad on X-Men.
I just remember opening it and thinking
there were panel lines on the it was so bad.
It gave me Forrest Whitaker squint. But I can't, Infinity War and Secret Wars both had really nice comic cover insert sets. There's a really nice corner box insert set on Secret Wars as well. So for me, there was something in them that I went for. And I thought it was much better executed, especially like the chapter cards that they brought in. The ones that they've done in What If that they brought over to Secret Wars, I believe they were in, because we only opened that a few weeks ago, didn't we? So I'm going to give thumbs up
on both.
As both as a whole thing.
Yeah.
If you include Avengers versus X-Men, it goes to a very...
No.
No, I'm not. I'm just looking at these two. But these two, simply because they improved a lot, Yeah. So, and the canvas set is good.
Yeah,
so.
I like the Infinity Gauntlet story, like the Secret Wars story. I like the idea of doing a card set on, a event. But I was out of town last week, went to a card shop. They had a bunch of Marvel stuff, went through singles, saw cards that I hadn't seen in hand before. And so saw some of the Allegiance, and, I appreciate the artwork, but just looking at the card, it didn't say buy me. It was just, they were, and that's just my preference. So that's,
Yeah. In fact, that's a good point. Obviously the whole episode is subjective. Just, it's just how we feel. We might all feel differently about it in a year's time. But Allegiance, also, I never understood what the brand name is actually for. Is that a made-up brand name? Is it a hockey brand? What is it? It doesn't make any sense. Allegiance to what?
Yeah,
just called it.
I don't remember seeing it in NHL.
Yeah,
it made sense for AVX because it's like where is your allegiance? But when you're talking about Secret War and everything, like it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, please don't do that again with DC. Right, we are now into the end game here, folks. With some of this stuff. Let's talk about the free retail sets first of all.
Okay.
November, David Adams dropped Woman of Marvel as exclusive, but it since showed up elsewhere. There was an Avengers set as well, and there was a Spider-Man set which came out just at the very end of December.
And again, I kind of guesstimated on months on those, but I'm pretty sure it was November.
No, you're right.
December.
You're right. You were. Yeah, you were. Some of them came out just for Thanksgiving, Black Friday. In fact, I think they were in the Black Friday drop. And then the Spider-Man one just crept in under the radar. They are identical in terms of their structure. Because I've pulled the spreadsheet apart because there's Black Cat in 3 of the fucking things. But they are identical in terms of their structure.
Under the breath mumble was fucking awesome.
Honestly, they Upper Deck properly Rochambeau'd me with this last half. But the monumental covers, I'm a really big fan of comic covers on cards. The monumental covers cards are really nice. I mean, they are really nice. If they were in annual, they'd blown number 1 spot out of the water. They're beautiful. In fact, they're an insert that could fit quite nice. In fact, a lot. Yeah, there we go. A lot of the
rainbow foil, man.
Yeah, a lot of the inserts in this set would feel very much at home in a Marvel annual set, and that's effectively what they are. They're just themed Marvel annual sets. They've got some parallels. They've got some stuff going on. There's some decent reproduced artwork. There's nothing original. It's a real bastard to tell the different parallels apart.
I think the draw to all three of them was, and Izzy calls it out in the chat, is the affordability. You were able to collect them. There was nice foiling. They looked good. They were cut well. They were very attainable sets that just you could collect without having to go nuts on.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they were retail sets. They were designed to be retail exclusives.
Yeah,
they were cool.
It's kind of like a metal, like a Marvel metal set a little bit. I think we said that before. Like it.
Yes, it had similar foiling to the metals. Is it slightly embossed too, just like the metal?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, very little bit. Yeah.
I like them. For all the reasons you said. I get a little bit more of the nostalgia from like. It reminds me of like the Marvel Universe sets from the '90s a little bit. Because it's kind of pulling from Marvel history a little bit. I think that I haven't bought any of the Avengers ones, but Women of Marvel.
That's the one that's really not popping up much on eBay as well.
I
reckon
actually
there's a case of those sat in a warehouse somewhere, a whole shipment load.
The shop I was at last week actually had the Avengers, but I opted for another set that we'll get to in a minute here. But
yeah, I mean they are small sets, Izzy, but the collation sucked on Women of Marvel. If I remember
it's better on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man was a bit better, but it was just I remember there was one dealer in group who was buying them up, and then he was pissing and moaning because he didn't like the collation on them.
Well, I got like 20 duplicates in the Women of Marvel box.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a thumbs up because they're fun for what they are. They're harmless. They're affordable.
I'm grading them on a curve, but
it's for the kids. For kids. And they, for me, they are actually 3 parts of the same set because, like I said, the structure is identical. So it's not like they've varied the chase at all. They're just literally identical. They've got Battle Time. They've got the base with about 6 parallels. They've got the monumental covers. I think there's one other, and that's it. And go home after that. Right. These aren't in order they came out, but I'm going to do these in... Right, we're going to do Masterpieces 92 Platinum. So this is basically, Masterpieces 92 crossed with Marvel Platinum. There's a lot of it out there. They printed shitloads. It's going to be around for a long time.
Messy set. Messy set.
If anybody wants blasters, those are still sitting around here too.
And they will be for years. Yeah.
The content, it was too good. It's too nostalgic for me not to like it. I was going to enjoy some of the parallels to get, I love the crystal clears and the ones they did there. Some of those plexi ones were kind of cool.
The wood and leather were terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the more
PMGs were a disaster.
We're absolutely destroyed.
No, let's not talk about this.
We're absolutely
for me, it's firmly in the middle, and that's mainly because it's Joe.
Yep. That's what I mean.
But
it's all that saves it.
Yeah. And it was nice to see that art come back. Sharp printing for the most part. It looked good, but some of the execution was just a shocker. Just an absolute shocker.
And why did they? Because Platinum was, a big hit. They changed. I thought they would keep some of the same parallels and parallel names, but they went totally different with this one, with like the leather and just
it was so bad.
Just different things. I bought one blaster. The art's nice. I got a purple Mr. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the what if the kind of more common one, but this in the blaster. I got that. I do like the corner boxes you can see behind me. I bought that from Joe probably 10 years ago. I like those. I like that got some love, but
yes,
it's a.
I tell you what I do like, although it doesn't feel like it fits in the set, is they did an insert of Joe's covers for other Marvel comics.
Yeah,
that was nothing to do with Masterpieces. I actually quite like them because his Deathlock cover is an absolute banger. And the corner boxes again, it's not from Masterpieces 92, so they brought in some other Jisco works. But I mean, the interesting thing about
Izzy and Mike are right. Without the clear, I don't have any.
Yeah. I've opened a box, but I've yet to get the majority of different types in hand because they're all sat on ComC. But this one, I just sat back and waited for them to dive on ComC, and then just snapped up most of the rainbow from there. And I'm in absolutely no rush about it. I'll pick up the other bits, down the road. But I kind of, and the reason being is that I kind of feel a bit like I'm a bit begrudging at this point. It feels like you're taking the piss out of a character collector because it's like, really, I don't know. Do you see what I mean? I feel like
you're making me come back to this, and you're throwing all the inserts,
a bit milked,
and you're throwing PMGs at me that are poorly done. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to own one of those. I mean, PMGs. Anyway, right. Spider-Man renditions. So hang on. Sorry, let's go. Did we score on platinum? Master 92 platinum?
I think we all went sideways.
We all went middle.
Yeah, we all went sideways.
Yeah, we all went middle. Right. Renditions. I'm going to go on record saying I fucking loved renditions. I didn't open any, but it's artwork. I think here's the distinction, which is why I always want to fight people who diss Masterpieces 2007. It's artwork that was created for cards, but it was for TCG. So it's their legendary artwork, whereas 2007, 2008 Masterpieces was from Versus System. But it's Upper Deck recognising that they've got this art that was designed for cards. Fuck it, let's put out a set. And the parallels were really well executed. There were a decent number of them, probably about 10, but they were really, really well executed and not too crazy. The metal cards were amazing. They had the artist autos. The Impel Verve set, set was just completely unexpected. Original art in that was new art. Tom Fleming did quite a few of them. I can't remember the other artists off the top of my head, but I think because it came out so close to the end, I think a lot of people maybe didn't catch it and didn't appreciate it. And I haven't had a box in hand. I'm jonesing to open a box. If I come over to the Chicago National and someone's got a box, I'm going in because
Yeah, I'm a recent convert. I saw the art of it and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like Spider-Man. I was in a shop last week and I was looking at the Marvel cards because I haven't been to a shop in years that had Marvel boxes and stuff. And I was just like, holy crap. But I saw renditions. I'm like, we'll do that. I got 2 packs, opened them up, loved it. The base set is nice and clean. The art shines. The canvas comic covers.
Yeah, it's kind of like a what if, isn't it?
Those are really sweet. You get a little. Each pack I had like a game, like a TGC card that's foily. They're cool,
Yeah,
but
that's what I love. They made it came from Legendary.
Yeah,
and they've made foil versions of the same Legendary card again that are inserts in this, but they've got renditions on the back at the bottom in the copyright. But I love that's so meta. It's like going full circle because you could play with those.
And then of course the Impel cards. Like I showed my brother the cards and because he collected them when we were kids, and I showed him the Impel ones, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool," because he remembered, that was one of the first sets we collected.
So this is info I didn't have actually, and I might hit Grant up to find out some more on this one. But Izzy's saying that the Impel set was meant to be its own set, but it got put into renditions. So that would explain the original art aspect.
I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Goodness,
the bank would have taken my house by now.
Wow. Okay. All right. Is Billy on Smack or something? Look at the chat. Okay, for each out your window and smack him because he's being a naughty boy. Yeah, I loved it. Renditions. I only went for the cat aspects, and she was in it 3 different times, so it's absolutely it murdered me. But and I'm still piecing it together because it's a big rainbow. But I love the original art from the Legendary. So yeah, and I loved those from back in the day. So yeah, thumbs up from me.
Yeah. And I think Izzy has that Impel information on good authority.
Yeah. Well, I'll do some digging as well on that one. There we go. So we haven't missed any sets. So yeah, I think we'll call it a day here, folks. We haven't missed anything.
No.
Oh, I'm trying to fuck with Izzy because he's been jonesing to talk about Marvel Matriarchs. In fact, did you say 2 more to go? I don't think. Hang on a minute. What have I missed? Matriarchs? No,
I'm
just
looking
Matriarchs.
at
No, there's
Grego.
2 more.
2024 Marvel Masterpieces. Oh, screw Matriarchs. We'll talk about that. So 2024 Marvel Masterpieces.
Oh God.
The final masterpieces artist.
Yeah, I feel for Grego on this one, but I'm also pleased that the set made it out in some form, even though it wasn't.
There's something to be said for that.
Experience.
That's correct.
I did like the slightly thinner stock. I did like what I saw of the artwork. Again, it didn't give me the feels, as it were, but I think that's partly my own kind of where I am with cards at the moment. And
I liked it.
Yeah. I tell you what I have reservations with is the messing around with the format of Masterpieces with 2022 and 24.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's spoiling both of them for me.
Yep.
To be
Agree.
fair.
They should have never. Everything was perfect. They had spent a few sets refining that model, and everybody loved it.
I get it. They want to make it go further. Yeah, they want to make it go further so they can sell more. Yeah, I get it. But sometimes if you do that to the detriment of the authenticity and the respect to the brand.
Yeah, the idea of masterpieces and what they're supposed to be at its core.
Yeah.
Every one of them is supposed to be limited. Every one of them is supposed to have some value.
Yeah. But I love I've got to say I think the artwork's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going up with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got to give it a thumbs up because
I mean it's a masterpiece set. Come on.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece set. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Wesley looks like he has reservations, but he's giving it the thumbs up.
He's just tired. He can't hold his arm up properly. Either that or he's been using it.
It helps when you're making the grade on that one. It helps if you think about not to say, 22. But if you look at 22 and you look at 24, you got to feel better about 24. So that's what helps.
That on screen, and that nails it for me.
Yeah, I haven't bought any singles yet of the new one. I think I liked his artwork on Flare a little bit better than what I've seen on the Masterpieces.
I really need to check out his Flare artwork.
But
his Flare stuff is
excellent.
Flare stuff is excellent.
I don't want to get because I just haven't dove into it, so I don't want to give it a thumbs up, but I also don't want to give it anything else because I haven't gotten into it. I mean, so
yeah.
I guess we'll do the thumbs up. It looks good. It's just
when you get a look at every card broken down, and there are a few incredible ones in there, and
I just haven't got the passion to chase it though. I mean, because it's such a limited print run, it's going to be like Masterpieces 96 in that regard. There's not many boxes out there. Prices will eventually start shooting up once people realise that it's not happening. I'm, obviously it didn't get APAC and it was a very limited print run. I'm likely not going to push forward and collect this and part with the ones I've got, simply because I'm just not feeling it. Someone said to me the other day, "Don't collect if you're not, don't collect a card if you're not enjoying it." And I know it sounds a really obvious thing, and you hear it all the time, but it's suddenly just at that moment it just kind of clicked for me. So I'm not gonna push for collecting the set because it's just not doing it for me. I'd be collecting it because I'd collected Masterpieces 2007, 2008, 2016, 2018, 2020. I'd be collecting it for the sake of carrying on that run.
Yeah.
But I realised very quickly that 2022 gives me no joy whatsoever now. Largely because of the disturbance in the force that a lot of people felt around its release. I'm not saying anything that's not untrue there. I know a lot of people feel very differently about it. That's fine. But I've made it quite way through putting together 2022, but I haven't added a card to it in the last 18 months, and I'm probably going to sell what I've got of that as well. And I'm just going to call it Masterpieces 2020, and I'll be happy with that. So kind of that's where my head's at, I think, at the moment, on modern masterpieces. And maybe my views will change. Maybe I'll feel differently about it 10 years down the road and suddenly be up for acquiring a tier 1 to 3 set of 2022 and 2024. But I think we'll have a hard time finding 2024. There ain't many out there.
No, but the boxes are still pretty plentiful, it seems.
Yeah. I think that's because there's so much got dropped off the back of the boat before they sailed out the harbour.
Yeah,
I mean, there was ridiculous volume of product. Because Matriarchs, yes, Izzy, we're coming to that. Was also dropped off the back of the boat just before it left the harbour, and I was assured that there's not much of that being printed as well, and yet it seems to be out there in good volume. But I think it's because just a lot of people have bought it, and it's just the market's saturated. I mean, the market is so saturated right now. If you look at it, it drips.
Yeah, I don't have dates on it on this list, but I think it just got kind of swallowed up.
Yeah, well, they all did.
Yeah,
they all did.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the stuff
some
we've been talking
extent.
about came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got at least a third of this list came out in November and December.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's bonkers time.
And that's before you count EPAC drops too.
Yeah, and then but then you've got all the EPAC sales leading into January, February, March, and people mopping up all of that because they can't help themselves. But yeah, Matriarchs, I thought, for me, the Fleer brand went out on a high after Wolverine.
Absolutely.
I think it's up there with Fleer Ultra Spider-Man and Fleer Ultra X-Men for me.
Beautiful medallions.
In fact, I would put it third if you were going to rank the 6 or so Fleer sets that Upper Deck.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah,
the Death Puzzle. I mean, that's
I mean, that 36 card. Is it 36 cards? Yeah, it was. I mean, fucking nuts.
Right.
Yeah. And like Josh said, the medallions were perfected by then. They went through enough.
Yeah, medallions were absolutely banging.
So when I was at this shop last week, I was going through the singles, and the first medallion I came across was a platinum parallel from that set. I'm like, oh, and I in my mind I thought, oh, that's the base, and then I get going and I hit the base that are that rose pink color.
Yeah,
those are special. I mean, those
are beautiful.
I mean, we said this. The base should have been the insert, in my opinion.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I didn't get any of them, but they're those.
I'm looking at them right now. I love all these.
Can you tell that Izzy likes it? Can you tell? I'm getting the sense that Izzy likes it. I got just from the chat, and then he comes out with this. No, not that one. This. Izzy's been hacked. No, it was horrid, man. But yeah, I mean, it's stunning. Death Puzzle was amazing. Pink art choices.
Yeah, I got mine off
the
accidental whatnot slip after the case of
I remember that.
I was like, I was trying to bid on character spots for 24 masterpieces, and I wound up with.
I remember also the border on the base set looks more like a masterpieces border than the 2024 masterpieces border does.
Yeah.
Because the 24 is just like straight lines and a little pizzazz in the corners, but the Matriarchs has a nice little hooshky do and a hooshky don't at the top and the bottom.
What?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the guy
gosh!
At the end of the night after 4 tequilas.
Those are so nice.
Yeah, I think it was a great kind of last hurrah on the original art set.
Hey, I left one off the list.
Hang on a minute. Keith, hold that up again. I'm going to make you big on screen, of course. Hang on. Let me do this. Nice. Right. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Amazing.
That's a nice rainbow. That's
missing the green.
You'll pick it.
But they're beautiful.
You'll pick it.
I love these.
Yes.
Yeah, the medallions are stunning. The medallions are stunning.
Screen
sorry,
Queens.
someone was about to say something.
Awesome.
Screen Queens. Yeah.
So we have at the end of this in the tallying, we have 6 that we all gave thumbs up to.
Right. Well, we're going through it in a minute. I think we're still doing the last few bits of. What's going on with Josh?
What the
Josh,
hell?
Josh has got aliens. Yeah.
No. Well, he's in the Everglades and
he's in a trailer park. he's in an RV somewhere.
One of those exotic snakes got him.
Probably.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
We
Yeah,
can hear you.
Yeah, no problem.
You're in the Matrix, but we can
fix
hear
this.
you. We
So
believe in you, Josh.
last night when I was doing this list, I had another set, and I think I was just doing some copy and pasting. I lost a set. Unbound 4 by Bella.
Oh my days! Right. Okay.
I had that on the list, and I think when I was copying and pasting, it disappeared. But
we have 7 sets we all voted thumbs up on. I'm going to say it right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put Josh back where Josh is currently a black square in the corner, but it's good that he's back.
Broadcasting from inside an anaconda.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. I've been swallowed. Help.
Oh yeah. Well, Wesley's done that on the show before. So Unbound 4. I mean,
you know what?
I know your feelings on it.
And Jason, I think you forgetting it is also going to be indicative of what happens to that set.
Well, I didn't forget it because I had it on there. IPA failed me last night.
But what I mean by that is that it didn't get a chance to sell out.
It didn't shine. Didn't get its chance to shine.
Yeah, it just didn't get it didn't get a stage to shine on.
I don't think they promoted it enough.
I agree also. And I think that's like I said, it's slipping your mind is also going to be its story at the end of the day.
Josh is back because there's pause on Unbound because Izzy's reminded us that we didn't vote on Matriarchs. But
because we knew.
Yeah, but it's a full board. There we go. Are you happy, Izzy? Good.
Have we pleased you, sir?
You're not sufficiently entertained. Unbound 4. Yeah, and Mike's got a point here. Nobody had the funds to purchase it, as it was the only thing not on sale. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of in mixed views about that. I think I don't think it had been on sale long enough to actually warrant a discount. If I'm honest with you, and one would argue that it shouldn't have yet been discounted, which is maybe why it wasn't, because it was a very, very high quality set.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. I mean, maybe they have to be on sale for a certain amount of time before they can discount. I don't think. Maybe that's not true. I don't know. Why didn't they? But yeah, so much of it. Well, we assume so much of it was not sold. I don't know how much was broken. Nobody knows the maths on this one. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm thrilled that Bella got an OA set.
Correct.
Oh, absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
The art was just something. After seeing the Freddy and sets, and then this one coming out, it just very fresh. Felt very fresh. The art was vibrant. She did something different with the characters. I mean, I did the Stingray cards because he's a character nobody knows, but she did a really great job with that card. And
she did a lot of background work.
And she did a lot of background work.
Which, towards the end of Unbound, it just became a starburst every time.
Yeah. Because like the X-Men cards she did in that set are great. Really good. So
absolutely.
Where are we at on that? Ian.
I might be middle.
Don't make me cross the sea.
No, I might be middle. And the reason I might be middle is because, and this is no fault of Bella's. But the styles of the original art production across a lot of artists in the last 6 to 8 original art sets were very similar in terms of their color palette, in terms of their style. So if you look at Grego's work, if you look at Bella's work, if you look at some of Ben Brady's work, there's no fault of the artist, but what I'm saying is you had a lot of very similar stuff in terms of the style. It was very vibrant, very rich in color. And I think I was just a bit exhausted with that by then, which is why when I get a Bianchi in a Flair set or in a Fleer Ultra Midnight Sunset or an Andre Meister, it just mixes it up a little bit. And that's what I liked about Matriarchs, is that the art in that did go all over the place, and it was very, very different style. But you had a lot of original art sets that were by artists who are brilliant, but they were very similar in style, and they all came out very close to each other. So for me, no disrespect to Bella, but it didn't sing to me. And I just think that's, I'm not judging Bella's artwork, I'm judging the set. And I think that the set suffered as a result of the fact that it came out around the time of a lot. Yeah. And it came out, you're putting out a lot of product that's very similar apart from name. In terms of the style of the artwork. So for me, and because, I don't know, I just associate Unbound with Fred Ian.
The timing was tough. It was absolutely tough. But the color palette and that strong, bright, vibrant art is my number one style that I go.
Yeah, I think that she separated herself from the masterpieces and from the.
I don't know, and that's the thing. That's why I'm doubting myself. I think at this point I'm just exhausted, and so it lands on someone whose eyes don't need any more new sets. So for that reason, at the moment, I'm there.
Pete's making a good point there.
What's Pete saying?
He said, and it did not get the one a week. That would have been a better.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know if it would have been better for the hype train, I guess, behind it. But even Unbound 3, like those. Yeah. Remember when we needed a thread to separate what was going on because of the chaos? We needed a separate thread, lockdown. You could not talk about Unbound in any other world because of how crazy it was in season 1.
Right.
And by the time we got to season 3, it was kind of
yeah.
So I don't know if the Bella set would have gotten the same. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think it would have, because I think the Unbound
I think
year 1 release it hit at the perfect storm time.
I think it would have, because it was a new art style, and they were able to bring back the bigger characters, because by the 3 we kind of cycled through all the bigger characters.
That's right.
So,
but 1 had that achievement, and that's what made it so bonkers. The sketch achievement, and that's also what made people go so crazy about it.
But would this have had a sketch achievement possibly with it?
Could it have?
Yeah,
maybe. There are sketches in it.
There's sketches in it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's. I think I can't think for sure. There must be less than 25. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Keith. Not trying to piss on your cornflakes. For me,
there's a Laura in it. Like, come on, man.
There's no Black Cat in it. If there had been Black Cat in it, it would have been way. But I'm blessed enough to have an original Black Cat by Bella in my collection. So
I will take it out of the tops.
Cool. All right. So where after all that, we managed to do it in 1 hour and 52 minutes. Quite frankly, I'm my flabber is garsted.
You doubling up on some sets is what saved that.
Yeah, well, I had to.
Yeah.
I could see which way the wind was blowing. So you can thank me later. Right, Keith, what are the scores on the doors here? Give us the bottom 3 and the top. Well, if they're grouped all by scores, then
we're tied on tops on 6 sets.
Okay.
We all like 6 sets, but we'll start from the bottom. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the very bottom.
As it should be.
Yeah. Filling its necessary role.
Behind that is the Chrome and the Chrome Sapphire. Then Love and Thunder. And wow, we really dogged Fleer Ultra Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We ranked Fleer Ultra Wolverine behind Multiverse of Madness.
Wow.
I think that's fair. To be honest
yeah.
with you.
So that's your
bottom.
It
was a stinker. I think it was an absolute stinker.
Those are your bottoms. And then the top ties, Platinum, Flare, Annual, MM24,
Which annual?
Renditions,
Did we
and
do both
Matriarchs.
together?
Yeah, we did both annuals together.
Okay.
So
right.
Annual, MM24, Renditions, and Matriarchs.
I mean, that's a pretty solid set of six to walk out.
Someone must win, though.
Not necessarily. We've had ties before.
Okay.
And we've had
out of those, I'd vote for Platinum to go for as the set of the year.
If I were to filter it down, I would have to go to another tie of Matriarchs and Platinum.
I'm going to have to go Matriarchs, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and I think, and really, if you held a gun, maybe Matriarchs wins all.
Wes?
So we got a Matriarchs from Keith, a Matriarchs from Ian, a Platinum from Josh. This is OG Platinum, not 92.
Man, well,
No
I'm going
pressure.
to go with what I spent the most time with and collecting, and that would be Platinum. I mean, Matriarchs looks great. I think it's a beautiful set. I think they nailed the Flare Ultra at the very, very end. But I'm gonna give it to Platinum. I mean, I had so much fun with that set.
No pressure, Wes, but I'm going to kick
break the tie
if it doesn't go the right way.
I mean, if the true definition is like set of the year, I think Platinum just changed the way. Like I think you said, Ian, it changed the playing field, right? Like everything was different.
I'm just gonna and I'm just gonna go to commercial now. We're gonna mute Wesley and we're gonna go. I'm sorry, Wesley.
I liked how you used his argument against him, though.
Wesley, Izzy just unsubscribed on that comment.
I think Izzy's kicking his own table over now.
Yeah, Izzy just
I will also
unsubscribed.
say Matriarchs was the first set that I started to collect that I miss the fact that it wasn't on EPAC. You know, like if this would have been on EPAC, I could have done so much more with it.
Right, okay.
That's not the set's fault.
I know.
Yeah, but no, that is a very valid point. Both of the sets will have had a different breadth of experience because of how they were released. And obviously Platinum was everywhere, saturated, very accessible. Matriarchs, the opposite. I mean, you know, it was just smaller release, end of the year, amongst loads of other products. Because Platinum actually had quite a bit of oxygen around it.
Oh yeah,
believe it or not, there was a little bit of a gap there, and then all of a sudden, that was probably about 6 to 8 weeks. Because I remember people saying that Platinum physical boxes were drying up.
Yeah,
and it got
resuscitated,
and nothing else came out for a little bit. So, we're saved. We're saved.
End the show.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Perfect.
But
I also
welcome, Amanda.
Again, if I finish, like if the definition is set of the year, Platinum changed everything. But I like Matriarchs more.
You already voted, Wes.
Whoa! Hold on, I can't have this wishy-washiness. You got to.
Yeah. You already voted. You can't take back your vote.
Okay.
You turn the Scantron in, and it sucks the thing up, and then you can't pull it back out.
I didn't.
You know what? Okay, so let's just get very, very quick then. Just one word in chat: Platinum or Matriarchs. Let's just read the thing there. We just.
This is your chance to overrule Wesley, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah. And I'm just curious to see. I think we know which way he's going to go with this. Right. So we got Retroverse. We got Matriarchs. Keith, can you keep track of these?
I got you.
On your little spreadsheet. So we got 2 for Matriarchs now. We got Jake and Mikkel. We got Ben Marshall's gone Matriarchs as well.
Let's see here. Join the chat.
We got Pete. Billy said whatever Amanda says, so I don't know. TJ's gone with Platinum, so we got our first Platinum vote. So I think it's 4-1 at the moment.
Call it out as you go because I can't watch while I type.
Yeah, I will do, but being very slow. Otherwise, either that or they're driving and listening to us, or some of them probably fallen asleep in their keyboards. Izzy's finally chimed in.
Shocker.
Yeah.
And interesting, he's gone for platinum. No, he hasn't. He's gone for Matriarchs. So then we got another one for platinum from Interglobal. So 5-2, I believe we are.
Platinum or Matriarchs?
Now Jake's being cheeky here. He's got
I see that you did there, Jake.
Yeah, so very nice try.
I knew Amanda would go platinum because of the great ability. I knew she was going to go.
Can we take one off Matriarchs in the interest of fairness for that? Platinum from Amanda.
I knew she'd go platinum.
Are we 5-3?
We are 5-3.
Yeah.
Does Billy automatically go platinum since he said whatever Amanda says?
Yeah. So he's gone platinum. So 6-3.
You're a dirtbag, Billy.
Right. Okay. That
did
might
Ben already vote? Ben already voted or no?
Yeah. Ben did Matriarchs earlier.
Man, we should have a little trophy for the.
Okay. Well, listen. Amongst us, it was pretty divisive. I think it's fairly safe to say, but if Wesley's sticking with platinum, then amongst us, it was 3-2 to platinum,
and it goes 5-4 to the chat,
and it goes
good people.
6-4.
6-4.
6. Yeah, 6-4. Yeah, I think.
Either way, Matriarchs wins. I'm happy.
Okay, cool.
And, Izzy has now resubscribed.
And Taylor's in with Matriarchs. There we go. Nice one. There we go.
Yeah.
Izzy's getting his family in on the vote now.
Perfect.
Right. Can I just say, and someone, I think it was Spidey Hits pointed out on Instagram, I'd chosen the song by Dildo or Dido, whatever she's called. Thank you. On the Instagram post. I mean, you don't look at her name and not think it. Come on. It's only one letter away. Anyway.
And another hour has passed, which means Ian had to go there.
TJ has now voted 3 times for platinum, and on the same basis as Jake, we should be taking a score off platinum for each one of those. So I think we're now down to 4. So platinum's now -1. Based on
Whoa.
TJ,
Hold on.
You're not doing platinum any favors there, mate.
Exactly on the hour, though. Pop goes to Ian for the comment.
Yeah. It happens. In real life too. It's a nightmare in meetings. I have to arrange my calendar so carefully for work. No, the reason I put the song "Thank You" on there is because we are blessed, quite frankly. I mean, this is a complete first world problems hobby. It's all disposable income. There's no need to obtain these cards. There's no need to spend all our money on these cards. And fucking hell, do we not? Do we spend lots of money on these cards? I mean, my disposable income is shredded. I've gotten into debt more than once over buying cards, and I'm it is just the way of life. But we are blessed that Upper Deck put out so much product in 2024. Regardless of how we feel about some of it, and if you do this poll in 3 years' time, not that we're going to reach the list again, I guarantee we'll get different results.
Absolutely, hands down, it'll change.
So Ian will vote for Bella.
Yeah,
right.
Quite potentially. She'll have seen me in the flesh at a con and slapped me across the face.
Yeah. Ian, let's talk here.
No, she won't.
I saw that episode.
She's a delight. Bella's a delight.
I think as the dust is settled, because we're a couple weeks out of EPAC now, I think, and I'm seeing some of these sets that were physical only. Some of them are starting to show up on ComC now.
Yes,
I think there'll be an opportunity that people can really kind of look and collect what they like, and
it's a good call.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is going to get its due that didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amanda's got reflection. Amanda's got a point. We shouldn't be playing celebrity deathmatch with these Upper Deck sets because they all have their charms. And indeed, there's someone out there. Hopefully, not that one guy in Canada who's ripped loads of people off. There's someone out there who really loves Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And will be standing and shouting at the TV. I was going to say TV. Some people do watch this on their TV.
I have.
Tony Perner does, or used to. I don't know if Tony watches anymore. I kind of feel Tony might not be talking to me anymore. Tony, you still there? Are we still friends?
Tony.
Anyway, But yeah, they all have their charms. Once we're off air, I'm going to tell you something about the aforementioned collector from Canada who's ripped everyone off that will make your jaws fall on the floor. But I won't put that out right now on here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone in chat. Some people collect Eternals. Some people do collect Eternals, Amanda. This guy and one other guy.
And the Eternals was really, really well done as far as the aesthetics and they're beautiful looking cards.
So yeah, they are. And I have some of them. If anyone would like a base set, please let me know. Just pay the shipping. I'll put it together for you. I've got about 20 of them hanging around. All right, guys. Thank you. This has been good. I'm absolutely exhausted. So quite frankly, I'm going to go.
But we made it. We made it through the list.
We made it. We did. We made it through 2024. 2025 is go, baby. We're 3.5 months into 2025. I'm not sure how much more enthusiasm I can muster than that. All right, guys. Josh, seeing as you're living in a trailer park right now, you get to sign us off this week.
Everyone, regardless of where you might be, enjoy collecting.